Welcome to Pub Wisdom. This is a video review. Now that I'm migrating everything over to Rumble, I'm going to do a review of the first 5 and then the next 5 and so on and so forth. But first of all, what is this? This is a podcast I started just off of dealing with or talking to people that I met that I found interesting along the way. And there's more to it than that. I just want to, as much as I've learned from these people, is where some of the wisdom comes from, I also want to convey as much as I've learned and observed over time. And this first podcast was just something that was thrown together. And yeah, I got an HD camera, an old HD video camera, had a table and a TV and a little laptop, and let's get it going in video format. Obviously the lighting is terrible, the audio quality is terrible, it's right off the microphone. And this conversation started a little choppy and it flowed a little bit more as it went on. And Dan and I covered a lot of topics that we tend to hit on a lot within this. And overall, it's a good conversation. We're just doing it and trying to see how it works. And then we're going to kind of, you'll see an evolution as we go, as I improve lighting and I improve audio and I improve just the entire setup, and eventually bring in the pub table, which gives me the shape and a new symbol, and yeah, I'm going to see how that goes. So this is the first episode. Dan the journalist, he's basically been a displaced journalist because of what he describes in here. He's actual true journalism has been long since dead in media that has been basically all scripted stuff, and yeah, it's just not it's not what you think. And here we are, this is almost 2 years ago, maybe a little over 2 years ago. We're talking about the subject, and things now at this date are just unfolding, and we're starting to see it. So, interesting guy, because he's had a lot of struggles in his life, and he's he's recently gotten back into broadcast journalism, and he's dealing with a new media company, not old media, new media, and he's really starting to do well with it, and he's back into sports broadcasting and stuff like that. So something that's a bit more up his alley, something he really likes to do, and we'll have him back on. I'm going to get things going again. Maybe not as a guest, but maybe as one of my irregular regulars, and just one of the guys on the side. You can comment or chime in every now and then, and you'll see how I utilized him later when I did the podcast with Angie Zilla. But yeah, there's episode 1 right there. Oh, I also said I'll never cater to pander to the comment and subscribe and all that stuff, and I figure at this point anybody watching this type of content knows to do that. So but here I'm going to say it. Yeah, I mean, let's see if I can get more views and more inspiration from there by people actually liking and commenting. And the comments are good because it gives me a little bit of feedback. Just be constructive with your comments. Don't be a douche. All right, episode 1 right there. This isn't Pub Wisdom episode 2. I call it 1.5 because I just had this set up, and I kind of wanted to do something fun and cute with my daughters. I'd been working with them for a few years and doing a YouTube channel with them, and I wanted to treat them as YouTube celebrities and see what they felt like it. I thought it was cute. It worked out well, but you can see how the younger one her attention span wasn't quite there. She's got a lot better now.
You watch this. Rice is
little commercials.
Pure glucose in
Dr. Grundy, yeah, he likes to ruin everything with diet, but
to raise your blood
in a good
sugar
way.
of any.
State Farm is squeezing your wallet, and here's what they don't want you to know.
Well, apparently Rumble's going to put commercials on here, but I think they all do, especially if you're not paying for a premium. Alright, well, yeah, Pub Wisdom 1.5 with the Kiley girls, which are my daughters, and they are very, very cute with wanting to do YouTube videos. Although my oldest is now getting to the point where she doesn't want to do them anymore.
And you are the Kiley girls. Welcome to
That's
Pub
what it
Wisdom.
is.
I'm your host,
But
Jason.
the whole idea
For
with the
today,
Kiley girls and
right
the
now,
YouTube
today,
channel was to
I am not your dad.
get them
I am
off
your
of
host. And I'll be interviewing you two.
watching the
What do you think?
content and getting them into creating the content.
So
And
today on Pub Wisdom, I have the
I
Kiley
don't
girls,
recall
famous
it now,
YouTubers.
but I did pour them root beer and cream soda
Plus,
to
to
make
be
them feel
famous,
like
you have to
they're
have at least
drinking beer. But
12 million subscribers. to be on my
I
show.
would never feed my children any type of alcohol.
Well, I
And
couldn't get
matter of
this
fact,
to
I
be,
didn't
so I got
drink
the
much
next
pop,
best
so
thing.
they didn't even like what they were tasting there, which is good. Keeping up the sugars.
First, what we do?
Yeah, no,
What we do
they
here
have
on
a
Pub
wild
Wisdom,
side and
toast.
they're a little on the crazy side.
Raise your glass.
Just love them for it, but
No, hold it properly, Lorelai.
yeah, they're just adorable
You are
little
Lorelai,
girls.
right?
I'm
You're
doing
Lorelai,
my
you're
best to
Ava.
protect and provide for them. So, but yeah, this was a fun little episode. I'm gonna close this one out now and
And we toast.
a nice little cheers with everybody. Yeah, cute.
And we take a drink.
My girls. We'll go on to the next one. So, actual episode number 2. This was actually done with a guy, Myron the entrepreneur. I'd met him just recently before this for the first time, and just one of those conversations you get into with somebody. I was sitting next to him for quite some time before we actually really started talking, and then. Here I changed the setup a little bit better lighting, but the audio quality is still not great. And we're drinking real beer, but yeah, it's good conversations with good people, and over adult beverages. So Myron is a very interesting guy because he's unconventional with the way he educates himself, and it's something I really admire. Is people go to college for all their lives and try to figure out how to run a business from there, but without the actual experience, I don't know. I mean, it may work, may not, but I think his methods are interesting because what he'll do is he'll even go to work for some sort of franchise as an employee and learn the system from the inside out, and then come back later and start his own franchise. And he's been doing his own things, and Myron's moving on. Would love to have him back. I don't know how often he's coming back to Michigan because I think he's moved away, but Myron's a great guy. I encourage people to follow him if they can. I know he's on social media. I know he's on Facebook, and I believe LinkedIn and a few others. I think he was supposed to get me his information, and I'm not sure if I ever really did. Nope, it's not. I don't think I have it on here. Yeah, well, Myron, he does a lot in the service industry. I think he's got a lot with clothing and stuff like that too. So both service and I guess textile industries like that. And really good guy, really smart guy. I learned a lot from him, and it's those types of things. I think these are stories that people need to hear more of. And he has been honored by I fail to remember the organization, but Auburn Hills, I think, honored him with some sort of award. So he does get good recognition from things like that. But once again, the original setup, just a table, a couple guys, beer, and I wanted the TV in the background so I could look things up and post it. But the video quality of picking that up with that particular camera, it doesn't work very well. Plus the lighting is all wrong. The TV backlights. With every episode, I learned and adjusted, and got a little better. We'll see how it goes, or we'll see how it goes as it goes. But yeah, there's just changes in lighting here. Nothing with the audio yet. Not until I get this beautiful microphone does things really come around and the audio really comes around. But I did have remote lapel mics too, which helped, but the camera I was using wasn't capable of taking. I don't know why it didn't work. There was some sort of buzz that I could never get out. But there it is, episode 2. Myron the entrepreneur, good guy. I'm sure I said that a little too much, but we'll move on from here. Here we are. Episode 3 with my irregular regulars. Yeah, Johnny Pat and
That's our intro.
Johnny Pat is a blue collar HVAC HVAC guy, Dan the journalist, myself. So now here we have a slightly different setup, slightly better. The lighting is better, still not great. Audio quality still not great. But yeah, I show the guys up here. I got a much larger mug, not compensating for anything. And the conversations between these guys, Dan and I usually stay on a pretty intellectual, highbrow kind of level, or Johnny Pat, he can hang with us there, but he also brings in some wild card things, and he has some things that he says that are pretty off kilter, but you know, it adds to it. It adds to the conversation. You end up laughing a lot more with a guy like that, and it's all good. You know, if people take things like this too seriously, they don't really understand what's going on. So don't take life too seriously. A bunch of guys having beers. We should be able to say what we want to say and have fun with it. If you're easily offended, then you probably shouldn't be. You might want to work on that, honestly, if you're easily offended. But yeah, I mean, I think this episode we cover a pretty wide range of topics too. Yeah, I think I butchered, which I tend to do. It's like I have amazing Stoic quotes in my head because it's a subject I've studied, and when it comes up in conversation, especially after a few beers in me, I just butcher the quote. But yeah, we also talk about things, you know, constructive criticism, social media filters, parental guidance, epidemic of adult age adolescence, and that is a term I really feel like I've coined that because I don't know if anyone else has ever said it. It just feels like there's an overwhelming number of males and females that have not grown up, and maybe it's part of the Gen X thing that we kind of refuse to grow up, but yeah, I think it's getting worse generationally, and we have to step up. We have to step into our roles. We have to be the men. We have to do things. We have to get things done. Without that, everything's going to start crumbling. And women do have their roles too, and I'm not saying it should be exactly this and exactly that, but I think between what a couple comes up with, who covers what, and who picks up their strengths, who picks up their weaknesses, that kind of thing. So it's always kind of been my stance, and it's one of the things I've learned over time that I try to convey to these guys. You know, Johnny Pat's he's a younger guy than I. He tends to look up to me. I feel very honored at that. It's not every day someone kind of even reveals that to you. But I've also gotten that kind of recognition over the last few years where people are coming back to me and they're starting to recognize what kind of person I am, giving me great compliments, and I'm hearing it from these guys too. It's great, it's amazing, it's heartfelt. So recording these conversations, putting them out there, just showing people that this is how conversations work, this is how debating topics work, this is good stuff. The pub is a place where it happens, and now I've kind of developed my own little pub, and it's just it's growing, it's getting better. My work is getting better with this, and honestly, it's 100% me setting this up, me getting people over. I always provide whatever beverage they want, and recording, the editing, and uploading it, and getting it going. And that kind of brings forth the question, what the hell do I do on social media? Which platform should I use? Migrating these over to Rumble because it's a free speech platform. Out of all of them I've done, only one has hit topics so sensitive enough that YouTube actually would not put it up. And that's one of the much later ones. It's actually one of the first ones I put on Rumble because it would not be allowed on YouTube. So, right now, currently active on YouTube, Rumble, and Facebook. And I kind of use Facebook to kind of promote these things and push it out there. A little different interaction with that altogether. TikTok's one I refuse to go to, but I also do the Reels, which are on Facebook. But anyway, this is episode 3. And Dan and Johnny Pat make many returns as usually one of my regulars, and it's kind of good to have pull everything offline every now and then, and just without a guest have sit down with these three or these two, myself being the third, and then just kind of talk it out. So scheduling wise, doing this as a
what I'm gonna do, we're gonna make Halloween last a little longer.
Everybody's working full time.
I got no problem with Christmas. Stay in fucking December.
Blue collar, white collar mix.
But no, I mean, what I want to do is I want to throw out.
It is very tough to get people to coordinate and get these things set up. And a lot of people want to do it, and run into so many people that want to do this, but getting them coordinated to do this, very tough. Especially the bartenders and servers, which are some of the more interesting people. Want to get more of them on here just to tell their stories, because they deal with some crap. And adult age adolescents, yeah. Take any male, add alcohol, and they get a bit more juvenile. And bartenders and servers have to deal with that quite a bit. So yeah, they've got some good stories.
First he said Birmingham,
and you'll see as I get going here. But yeah, service industry, total respect for people. It's hard to imagine what you guys go through on a daily basis. Yeah. Episode 3, here it is. Check out the full one if you like. All right. Pub wisdom number 4: men, women, and modern dating. So this was a great episode, and the sandwich is there for a reason. I was saying before, my friend Johnny Pat, he says things that are a little off the wall every now and then. But I think it's very important to take this into full consideration in terms of the full content of the story and the context of the story, everything around it. And I received a lot of flack for this because he basically said, I just want a woman to make me a sandwich. Really nothing wrong with that, honestly. I mean, wouldn't you want to make a sandwich for somebody once in a while? I mean, do something nice, sweet. But the full context of the story was he's working really hard. He's out all day. He comes home. He's tired. Wouldn't it be really sweet if a woman made a sandwich for him? And in that context of that conversation, he also says, baby, I'd trade you. I'd rub your feet, whatever, just, it's a little trade-off of being something sweet and nice. So, and his experience is there's not a lot of women that were willing to put forth any effort on that. And I received flack on the outside, and I wish they would even put comments in here, but no, they would go around and find me. A couple women have found me directly and said, make a sandwich, huh? Make a sandwich, huh? Yeah. I mean, what's wrong with that? If you like a guy and he's doing some hard work for you, either in or out of the house, it's a real nice special thing. I mean, it's a small gesture, and a man would just appreciate that so much. And that's the thing that I think a lot of women don't understand is there's a lot of little things that women can do for a man who men would really appreciate it. And maybe they've been with guys who don't appreciate it. Maybe they've been with guys that expect it. Those are the wrong guys, man. Or maybe those guys need to be taught. But yeah, I don't know why this episode isn't playing. I'll have to come back and check into that later. This better work. But this is a very special episode. This kind of started spurring some things. But it spurs conversations. I like that. Yeah. Come on the episode, debate me, ladies. If you don't believe in that, if you don't think that's, let's find out. What do you think would be a better gesture? What would you do for a guy who does so much for you? I hear this so often about women say they don't need men, but I don't think they realize the fact that those that have conquered all the difficulties of the world were men, and we did it for women. And now that current generation of women are here, they don't think they need a man for anything. As much as I hate to say it, but the Whatever podcast really kind of points a lot of that kind of stuff out. Like, I mean, geez, do you like your electricity? You like your cars running? You like your supply chain feeding you everything you need? I mean, pretty much majority of that's men and that are working hard to do that. Anyway, men, women, modern dating. That was the first one that really caught some people's attention. I like it. But yeah, we'll keep it coming. sometimes I guess you got to say something a little more on the controversial side to get a little attention, but it is what it is. And, I just think people should be nice to each other, compliment each other, do nice things for each other, whether it's act of service like making a sandwich or anything else, something like that. Let's show a little love to each other. We got enough of the other crap. Play. All right, pub wisdom number 5. First 5, right? So number 5 here, honoring our servers with Raina. So something I wanted to do when I started the podcast was get servers and bartenders on here and tell their stories. And Raina was a very special young lady.
And pub wisdom, we decided to dedicate a series of podcasts for those.
Yeah, I switched to YouTube. Rumble was giving me trouble for some reason. I hope that's not a real issue.
About bartenders, servers,
so this is
staff that work in these types of places.
Shooting this video. I remember after it, I came back and shot a little monologue, I guess, to kind of explain it, roll into it. Thought that might be something I might be doing in the near future. But once again,
tell some of their stories, some things they have to deal
it
with.
is what it is.
The complexities of their job.
It's more work to go back and do that. But I think it does make a little more sense. I also had some glitches here
lovely young lady named
at the
Raina,
end. We were
and
starting
she
and
does
stopping
work
a
at
lot,
one of
starting and stopping.
establishments that my friends and I
With the lighter on the
do
camera
frequent.
and the screen of the camera, I couldn't see the little red
enlightens
dot
us
to see
on
if
some
it
of the
was
stuff
running.
that she's got to go through on a day-to-day
So
basis.
what I
in
did
this
to
type of
remedy
world.
that was
So
for the next one,
without
I put a
further ado,
monitor
here we go.
down under the camera
We'll
so
roll
it
right
made
into
a
it,
nice big
and
screen where I could
see
see
what
that
Raina has
recording
to
dot.
If you're going to do that, you're going to
Into
go
it,
upstairs.
but and then Cabo was
Cabo the dog.
Cabo the dog was present during that. You can hear him clicking around.
We're recording, so
Good boy,
let's
he's
just
still
say,
around, hanging in there.
Raina, welcome to
So
Pub Wisdom.
yeah,
Thank you.
toasting with Raina.
Today is our salute to
Great conversation.
service
Got
staff,
into a lot of different things about her life and how she got into this and
Yes.
the things she
Do our
does
best.
outside the service industry.
Today,
Thank you for.
Yeah, I still see her occasionally going out.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Still a
Thank
very
you.
nice young lady.
I've always been
Was very glad to have her on.
how hard all you ladies
Once a
work.
guest,
And
always
one of the
invited
first things
back.
I did was
I haven't had anybody. Well,
going to Johnny Black's
We'll get to that later.
therapy
But yeah.
post-divorce.
rounding out the first 5.
And
Here's Raina.
It just took me
She's a
time.
very
and
sweet
one thing that
girl.
impressed me the most is the fact
Good
that I was there
episode.
2-3 times, and come up and we were just like,
Overall lighting was much better.
Okay, I'm one of
The
hundreds of people that
camera's a little bit
Right.
better centered up,
Yeah.
so you can
And
actually see
I
it
don't
over
know,
the
and
table.
it's weird, like when you're a
It's
server,
lined up
like
nice and evenly there.
you see so many different
So yeah, with
people,
this
but
setup, I
some
was doing,
faces,
if it's
they
just 2 people,
stay,
put the table
especially if they
lengthwise.
come,
If it's
once, 2 or 3 times,
3 or
but even
more,
like you
then
said, just the second or
widen it
third
up.
time. It's weird the things that you
Oh,
remember,
and I
'cause
took
for me, my
the
memory is
background and I
awful,
made it
but if someone
darker
that
so
I
it didn't
served 2 or
wash
3
out
times
as
says the
much.
same
So
thing, I'll
learning
remember
as I
when
go,
see 'em.
getting a little bit better
So
every time.
It's a weird thing.
And
There must be some sort of
get some
association. So
get some
I-
wisdom out there, learning
kind of
from
neuroscience
others
nerd, too.
and
Okay.
conveying what
And
I know
that's
in
one thing that
response
triggers.
too.
I'm good with faces, but I never remember names. It's like,
Same.
well, I can't.
And
Well, yeah,
constantly
What some people do, and then
constantly
you read
improving,
the person for
constantly
the second
improving on
time,
the
you
the art
Totally
of
forgot
Yeah.
recording,
Like,
the
hey,
art
Ray, how you doing?
of conversation, the art of
Who's this
interviewing,
guy?
go, yeah, and then you're
the
like,
art
oh,
of
that's
editing,
kinda cool. They remember
bringing
my
all
name,
kinds
too.
of things into light. So
It's,
yeah,
But there's a certain thing that kind
kind
of
of wild.
people like that.
Yeah.
You know?
The first
So I
5 were
thought,
very,
okay, what I'm gonna
I guess,
do
much
when I
lower
go to Johnny
quality
Black's
than
is sort of remember people's names.
the last several
Remember
ones
the
I've done.
staff, remember the other regulars, and
Hope to kind
that
of keep
was
improving
definitely
from
a
there.
bar where there's regulars, right? It's wrapped
There
in
it
the
is.
neighborhood. There's always the same people there. They all
Oh,
live in the
yeah.
neighborhood.
Please,
So it
yeah,
was very cool to kind of
pandering to
go
the
there
likes and subscribes and all that, whether it's on YouTube or Rumble. And you can check us out on Facebook
Yeah.
too. I'll update some things when I'm doing this and that.
You just fit right in.
Yeah,
Feel at
it's like,
home.
and then
And,
people are like,
yeah.
yeah, he's a pretty cool guy. And
Yeah.
I feel like I got a pretty good rep. doing
You
it.
do.
What else
you do.
should I
There's
be on?
definitely
What
some
the
regulars
platforms
where
work
we're
for you?
like,
What,
oh, like we're sick of them, but you're definitely
where
not
should it be
one
going
of
for
them,
podcasts? To put it out there.
Don't ruin that.
Bringing in the first couple, these first 5 of the audio quality not being great. I
okay.
figured it needed to be in a video
Yeah.
format, so
Yeah.
we'll let this be what it be. Maybe in the future I can switch to a bit more of an audio style.
Yeah.
Maybe not necessarily needing so much of the video and
Right,
visuals,
Right.
but I do believe it's helpful.
Today is all about.
It's something you could listen to, and then if they're talking about something and put it on screen or whatever, you can go to video mode. And
It is hard work.
YouTube's good for that.
It is. It really is.
Still
I mean,
learning
if you
about
think
Rumble,
You're literally a servant.
As
You're
I've
serving
been migrating
somebody,
everything over to
you gotta
Rumble.
put on your best smile.
Yeah,
act like
give us a
everything's
check
fine,
out.
even you could be going through something horrible,
Likes,
but
subscribes,
portray something completely different. Just
comments.
to make sure that
I like
person has a
constructive
good quality,
criticism,
meal and
anything
experience, so
anything
that you
helps.
can get a good tip and be able
Help
to
get us out
pay
there,
your
get us
bills,
part of bigger
hopefully.
conversations.
So, but even then, when you
I
do
want
your
to
best,
talk
you
to.
can
I
end
want
up
to
not
continue to
getting
talk
a
to
good
guests
tip,
on the
so
blue
it's
collar ground level,
hand in hand.
but eventually start getting guests that are
Tip your servers, damn it.
Tip your
a little
damn
bit more
servers.
recognizable
And tip them good,
through
okay?
YouTube and
At least
whatever
15%, but
else
20 is
social medias
good.
that are out there.
No kidding.
And I'm thinking about dipping my foot more into politics.
That's what I like. Yeah, I mean,
I don't like
I always
politics.
do my best to
I think it's
tip,
kind of a useless fight
20%,
when people
if
bicker
I can
about it.
throw extra out, I do.
But I think
don't
when
have a lot of money to
my
throw around.
stance is just
Exactly.
But I
It's like-
budget that
peeling
in
back
when
the
I go out.
ideologies
Exactly, and that's
and
what
getting into what
should
people
do. Like, if you're
really
gonna go
understand
out
and
order
believe,
all this food,
and then
you should factor in that tip
the
too,
whole
because that
surface
person's
value
gonna work extra
thing of
hard
politics.
the more you get,
What are we doing on top of
So-
that?
And even if the food
Let's
is
go
bad,
to
your server's good,
what's beneath it? What's
consider it.
really
Right,
going
it's
on?
not the
Why
surface
are
level.
these
We're
things?
trying our
Why are these
best.
issues always so complex?
Yeah.
There's a team of people that works by it.
Exactly.
I think they're made to be
It
that
is.
way
It's
just
huge
because
team, and if one thing
it throws
falls
a lot of
apart,
people
then
off.
we all fall
I
apart.
think we
and
need to
it's
understand
hard, but I think at Johnny's
get rid of
we're
the
pretty
surface
good.
values
And,
of politics.
It's one of
The
the
great
places
thing
I
is
like.
right now in
Why?
this
One of
world,
the reasons I frequent
I think
is
we're starting to see
Yeah.
that, and
other than being
I think that's a good thing.
Exactly.
We need to peel
It's
the
so
mask off these
convenient.
things and
too
Yeah.
convenient.
take a deeper look. But,
They built the high
politics is
cars.
one thing we'll
that's
probably
alright.
dip in our
For
toes
everyone, you
into.
also built a lot of
I have strong
extensions,
automotive
sure.
knowledge,
Everyone I've had on
but
so
because
far,
of the nature of the industry,
regulars from the
where I
pub,
work, I can't always do that.
and,
When I worked for my former employer, Sandy Monroe, it was kind of almost encouraged, which I think is a great thing. Who knows? Maybe I can get Sandy Monroe on someday. That'd be kind of cool. Former employer. Talk to him. I think he'd be a great guy to talk to over some beers, and not just the automotive world, but like some of the other things. He's got some pretty hardcore beliefs, and interesting guy to talk to when it comes to that kind of stuff. I could always share some stories about him too.
My kitchen guy
Okay.
But yeah,
worked his way up to the point where he's
there it is. First five.
Got his own thing going. It's
Holy
pretty
crap.
cool.
And I
That's
just kind of just
Wrap
mentioned,
it
hey, I'm starting up this podcast. Would you mind being a guest? Like, sure.
awesome.
All
Woo.
right.